Everyone that loves food has their happy place. For some, that might mean a late night street doner kebab. For others, it might be slurping pho on a plastic chair in the middle of a Vietnam street. But I think everyone has that one spot where you can just shelve whatever else might be going on in your life and just exhale. Living here in Guangdong, for us, that place has always meant a Cantonese Dai Pai Dong, a place where you can sit outside, eat and drink late into the muggy subtropical nights. And ever since we moved to Shunda, there's one Dai Pai Dong in particular that's quickly become our favorite neighborhood spot. They've got a lot of the standard fare, all done excellently, and there's one dish that we find ourselves ordering again and again, their jianju or fry roast chicken. So kind of on a whim one day, I asked them if I could go back into the kitchen and see how they made it, and they ended up being ridiculously nice and actually just straight up taught us. So we wanted to try something a little bit different today. Because this recipe is 100% a recreation of their jianju, we figured we'd also share the original video of them teaching us as well. We slapped on some English subs, and we'll link that for you at the end of the video. So right, to make some fry roast chicken, you'll need chicken. This was a half a bird, about 600 grams worth, cleaved into small 1.5-inch pieces across the bone. Now, we did test this with some boneless thighs as well, and frankly speaking, it came out completely perfect. But it did kind of feel like the dish lost a bit of its soul somehow. So assuming that buying a pre-cleaved half chicken is a bit on the annoying side for you, this is what we'd personally do if we were using the chicken available abroad. Get a chicken leg. First separate out the thigh from the drumstick, and from each, cut out the boneless meaty bits and slice those into about 1.5-inch chunks. Now we're left with the meat remaining along the bone. So using the bottom bit of the cleaver, chop down with force across the bone to get it into similar sized chunks. I do think going this route also feels like a nice compromise between the bone-in and bone-out crowds. But again, boneless thigh also work just fine if you don't feel like busting out your cleaver. Next up, the marinade. Now this marinade was a bit different than the sort of standard marinade that we generally give out, because this one's also giving the chicken a sort of base flavor. This was a half teaspoon salt, a half teaspoon chicken bouillon powder, and an 1/8 teaspoon each of sugar and MSG. This marinade is super light on the sugar in order to prevent it from scorching. We'll also toss in a 1/4 teaspoon white pepper powder, a teaspoon of cornstarch, a teaspoon light soy sauce, and a teaspoon of chili oil. The chili oil was kind of a surprise for me, but it really does work quite well here. We used homemade, they used bottled, and in a pinch I think you could probably just swap that for some cayenne pepper. Then just coat with a tablespoon of peanut oil, give it a good mix, and set that aside for at least 15 minutes. Then besides that, there's honestly not much else to really prep. We've also got a half a green mild chili and a red mild chili, both cut into diamonds, and you could swap those for bell pepper if you need. About 5 scallions, white part only, an inch of ginger sliced into sheets, 1 large garlic clove, also sliced, and a bit of white onion. And I know I'm chopping this kind of weird, but that's just because we only need about 8 to 10 pieces. And that's honestly it. This dish is the newest member of our honorary Western Supermarket Club. Now, to fry this, you're going to need a large flat skillet. While we did end up picking up a cast iron just for this recipe, unfortunately the seasoning just wasn't ready for prime time. So today we'll be frying this on a large nonstick skillet, which is actually also what the restaurant used. I know that goes against a lot of the prevailing wisdom in foodie circles, so stay with me here. It seems like if you talk to a lot of people, they'll insist that using a nonstick at any flame above, medium-low, is basically akin to gassing yourself in your own kitchen. Here's the thing. Teflon starts to degrade at 260 centigrade and melts at about 315. That's higher than the smoke point of most oils. We're not going to get even close to those temperatures. And to prove it to you, I'll keep my infrared thermometer handy through the whole process, which might actually be best practice here anyhow. So right, first heat your pan, either a nonstick or a well-seasoned cast iron, over a medium flame until a bit of water can sizzle away. This is the hottest our pan will get during the whole process, or about 180 centigrade here. Then add your chicken pieces, break them up a bit, and swap the flame to high. Let that fry for about 20 seconds, then tilt your pan to the side and go for about 20 more seconds on each side, for about 1.5 minutes total. This is so that the chicken browns evenly. This is the jian or pan fry portion of this method. Then just swap the flame to medium-low and cover. This part is the ju or roasting step. The covered pan will help the chicken cook through. Then after about 2 minutes, or maybe 3 if your chicken pieces are a bit bigger, uncover and swap the flame back to high. Note that we didn't actually add any oil here because the marinade already had some, and the skin will also render out some schmaltz. But if you're working with something skinless, you'll probably need to add a swirl of oil. What you're looking for is the chicken pieces to be nice and mired-y, so once you've reached that point, about 30 more seconds for us, flip the chicken pieces, which I kind of like doing off the heat. Give that a 90-second fry in the same manner as before, and FYI, our surface temperature here still isn't anywhere close to 260. Now add your garlic and ginger, continue frying until the other side's nice and golden, about 90 seconds more, and add in the onions and chilies. Quick 30-second fry, season with a 1/4 teaspoon salt and 1/8 teaspoon black pepper, another quick 30-second fry, and out. Fry roast chicken, done.
So for jianju, fry roast, besides chicken, you can also do pork ribs, which my dad often makes when I was growing up, and it's one of my favorite dish. Besides that, you can also do fish or even frog. Here in Shunde, it's a very popular dish here, and you can see it at almost every restaurant. So I hope you can give it a try. Alright, check out the other link in the description box for detailed recipe. A big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and of course, subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.